Hi everybody, and welcome to Mike Nierychlo Online, sharing my love for people, wine, food, and all things made passionately. Okay, so today's episode, you can see I've got 3 wines laid out in front of me here, already in glasses. There's a reason for that. These 3 wines, 2008 vintage from Painted Rock. By the way, just about to be released right around the corner. I've thrown them in glasses because they are big, hearty varieties. So basically I've let them decant for a couple hours before shooting this episode. I want to get a real, true feel for these wines. And judging by previous vintages from Painted Rock, these wines are going to have some killer aging potential. So I'm going to get right into them and see where we're going. Now Painted Rock, located just outside of Penticton on Skaha Lake. They're on a beautiful location. They get some wicked sun exposure, which allows them to grow grape varieties like we're tasting today. We're doing their Merlot, their Cab Sav, and their Syrah, all single varietals. They also do a really nice Chardonnay, and as well they do their Icon. Now Icon is their Bordeaux blend. And one thing that really stands out with Painted Rock, and I'd really like to taste it one day, so John, if you see this, and you've heard this before, your Petit Verdot, man, it's good wine. Anyway, great thing for your blends, but it's good wine. Maybe we'll see that as a single varietal one day. Anyway, hint, hint. All right, gonna get right into it. These are their 2008s. Like I said, it's 2011. They're about 3 years old. I'm gonna taste them. So we're gonna start with their Merlot. Now I'm excited about these wines. I've met John on a few occasions. Oh, kind of side note, I'll have this link below the video for you too. John Skinner, owner of Painted Rock Winery, he was here, did a really cool garage episode with me. Lots of really neat material. What I like about John is he is so passionate about what they're doing, and they're trying to build a legacy project behind Painted Rock, something that's going to withstand the test of time. So make sure you check out that episode. Like I said, the link's right below the video of the previous episode. Okay, sorry, we'll taste some wine now. That's what we're here to do. So we're starting with the Merlot. Okay, right away on the nose. Like I said, I had these open for a while. These are big wines. Merlot is the grape in the Okanagan that a lot of people are saying is kind of, I guess you couldn't say the premier grape of the Okanagan, but it's a consistent grape in the Okanagan. It grows really well consistently, especially in the South Okanagan. So whether you use it for blending, single varietal, whatever you're using it for, it grows well. And a lot of people enjoy growing it. Okay, on the nose, I'm getting a lot of kind of those fresh cherries you get at the cherry stand on the side of the road. It says Okanagan cherries for sale. And a lot of that, I'm getting a real interesting meatiness to this one, which is different for a Merlot. Like I said, they have a very hot site that gets a lot of sun exposure. Yeah, it's a beefiness. It's a little bit chilly in the garage here. I'm trying to warm it up a little bit. Like a beefiness. It reminds me of, yeah, like a roast beef, or yeah, like you're pan frying some beef, ground beef. Okay, on the palate. One thing I like about this wine, I'm going to put it right off the top, is it's not goopy. It's got a nice mouthfeel. It's pretty thick in the glass, well, thick's the wrong word, pretty heavily extracted. It's a dark color. It's got that really dark kind of just black purple color. But on the palate, it's not goopy. And one interesting thing I find is the mouthfeel. It flows over your tongue and down your throat, and it's got some neat length to it. It's got a softer mouthfeel, this Merlot, which I think typically why Merlot is very good for blending the Okanagan. But an interesting mouthfeel. I find it, yeah, it's fairly complete. You're getting a lot of, I mean, it's definitely got some tannin on it, a little bit of that tea tannin, but nice tasting. I'm going to venture to say a little bit of fig, and definitely kind of that roadside fresh black cherry. Definitely go in there, roadside fresh black cherry. But the nose reflects that meatiness, it's interesting. Okay, second wine we're tasting. As a truck drives by. You can hear it outside. Anyway, this is their 2008 Cab Sav single varietal. And I do like tasting these from Painted Rock because it's really neat to see the potential you can get out of some of these single varietals in the Okanagan, because the Okanagan does do a lot of blending, and it works either way. If you can blend and make a better wine, why wouldn't you? But if you can make a great wine single varietal, of course you're going to do that too, because vintage to vintage, it's going to display so many neat different flavor characteristics. Okay, 2008 Cab Sav, or some like to say Cab Sauv, Cabernet Sauvignon. Interesting nose on this one. It's pretty classic for Cab Sav. And by the way, this is a good Merlot. I like it. I think it needs to lie down. I've got a few of their previous Merlots in my cellar. It needs to lie down. It's drinking really nice right now. Like I said, I've been decanting these for a little while, but it's going to display really well further down the road. Nice wine. Definitely decant them when you buy them, to open them. Cab Sav. Okay, Cab Sav, in a signature way, tends to have a greenness to the nose to it. Now, at Painted Rock, again, like I said, I've said this too many times, but I'll say it again, a hot site. This Cab Sav reminds me of, say, a Chilean Cab Sav, or maybe an Australian Cab Sav, just on the nose. The greenness reminds me of that. Often Cab Sav is like green bell pepper or something like that. But this one, I'm going to venture to say a little bit more spice to it, a little bit more, say, jalapeno pepper. Yeah, not that spice is going to burn your mouth, jalapeno pepper, just the flavors you get from jalapeno pepper. Yeah, jalapeno pepper, I'm almost going to venture to say, give me a second here. There's a lot of black fruit on this. A lot of black fruit. Let's say you took a plum and a raisin, or let a plum turn into a raisin, and you get something like this. An interestingly neat black fruit characteristic to it. Now the palate on this one, something I like about this one, a little more than their Merlot, it's got a balanced tannin / acidity. So it's got a good backbone and a good age worthiness. So the acidity and the tannin are going to build it. Also the fruit character is there. Good acidic, bright black fruits. Get on my tongue, my palate. Yeah. Again, it reflects a little bit of that greenness, jalapeno pepper / raisined plum. You know, I'm going to venture to say it's got definitely a bunch of black currant kicking around too. Big wine. Definite, very interesting aging potential with this one. And that's something you don't find as often in the Okanagan or BC is aging potential. I'm stoked on the aging potential for this one. I'd really like to see what this would be like in 10 years from now, literally. It's going to have a really cool brick orange color, and it's going to soften. Some of the brightness, the acidity, the tannins are going to soften. Interesting wine. So far, 2 good wines from Painted Rock. As well, mouthfeel on this one. Nice mouthfeel, not goopy, not over the top. Now here's a wine from Painted Rock. Painted Rock? That'd be a good Chinese food restaurant. Painted Wok. Anyway, 2008 Syrah. Now there's Syrah. My buddy Mike Ratchet, who's on the sidelines of the show as well, who a lot of people see around, Mike and Mike, he's a huge Syrah fan. Now Syrah from Painted Rock, the 07, we both fell in love with right away. It's what's cool about Painted Rock, again, a hot site, said that way too many times, saying it again. Syrah, often done in the wine world, they add Viognier to it. The reason they add Viognier is that it complements or adds a floral characteristic to the Syrah. Painted Rock does not add Viognier to their Syrah because it's such a hot site. Now, adding Viognier to your Syrah gives it a floral characteristic. This 2008 Syrah, okay, like I said, I had the decanting for a while. This is literally like walking into, wow, okay. I have walked into a garden center. This is insanely floral for a red wine. And this is a beautiful floral smell. If they could extract this and make some kind of perfume, watch out, ladies. Wow, the floral aspect of this wine is wicked. Like, this reminds me of tulips and violets and, not gonna say roses, tulips, violets, kind of that soft floral. Interesting wine. You get a hint of, I mean, this is Syrah characteristic, and again, a hot site gives those floral characteristics. You get a hint of meatiness and pepperiness, which is characteristics for Syrah as well. Kind of that prosciutto meets pepper. Okay, wow. This is a very floral wine. Nice tannic backbone. Yeah, good mouthfeel. Definitely good mouthfeel. Again, great aging potential. I really want to taste all these wines 10 years from now. John, Skinner, I hope you're keeping a library of these because these are going to be really interesting in 10 years from now. And you better invite me to that tasting 10 years from now too. Keep that in mind. Floral on the palate, you definitely get more of that peppery, definitely peppery meatiness on the palate. And I'm going to venture to say, I mean, I live in BC, the Lower Mainland. We have blackberries everywhere. They're like a weed, they take over. But spring rolls around or whatever time they ripen, we get to eat a lot of blackberries. This has got a lot of floral, blackberry, peppers, and prosciutto. Interesting wine. All right. 3 consistent wines from Painted Rock. Yeah. That's really all I have to say about that. Painted Rock, I'm impressed again. Carry on doing what you guys are doing. I know you guys are changing things up a little bit with your winemaker, things like that. There's changes happening. But you guys have been on the ball so far with making pretty good wine. Looking forward to seeing your next vintages coming out. This one's just about to be released. Good job. 3 good, consistent wines from Painted Rock. Like I said again, I've had these decanting. Do not judge them straight out of the bottle. These wines are built for time, and I'm not going to emphasize that much more. Built for time. So if you don't decant them, you could get a really skewed opinion about them. Let them open up. You're really going to enjoy them. Let them get to room temperature, decant them. Let them sit for like 2 or 3 hours. They're going to open up and they're going to impress you. And like I said, 10 years from now, I'm so curious to see what they have to offer. So thank you everybody out there so much for watching today. And remember, wine, deep pretentious sized. See you on the next episode.